Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen, and today we are diving into what I think is a really important topic, which is what are my top 5 most dangerous mistakes that you can make while taking Mounjaro, Tirzepatide, Zepbound, any GLP-1 really for weight loss. I think that these medications are a fantastic tool for supporting weight loss, but just like with anything, there are potential pitfalls if they're not used correctly. So if you're thinking about possibly incorporating a GLP-1 into your weight loss journey, or say you're already using it like I am, I think that this video is a must watch. And if you watched my what I eat in a day video, I decided to track what I was eating because I was concerned I was not eating enough, because that fatigue was awful for almost 2 weeks. And I actually fell into one of these categories. But if you are new to my channel in general, I've been on Mounjaro, now I'm on compounded Tirzepatide for almost 2 years. I'm down about 90 pounds, 91 pounds. But I think even being on a GLP-1 for weight loss that long, I still feel there are moments I have to remind myself to just avoid some of these pitfalls that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. And quick reminder, I'm not a medical professional. I just like to talk, really. I like to talk about my journey, the things that I've learned, the do's and the do nots, interacting with all of you. And I also know that we've all experienced, weight loss, the side effects, the benefits of this medication. We all experience it differently. But as I go into my top 5, if you think that I'm missing one or you don't agree, let me hear it in the comments below. I love interacting with all of you, and I try to answer all of your comments and questions as quickly as I can. But let's go ahead, let's kick things off with what I think is a huge mistake, and that's just relying too heavily on processed protein bars and shakes. Now, I know what you're thinking. Protein bars, protein shakes, they're really convenient. They're easy to grab and go. They're marketed as, weight loss friendly. But here's the thing. While they can be part of a balanced diet, if you're relying solely on them, I think you're missing out on the benefits of whole foods. That's something to remember, because many processed protein bars, protein shakes, they're packed with a lot of added sugar, unhealthy fats, preservatives, artificial ingredients that really can throw off our metabolism. And this is what's crazy to me, most of them can get labeled high protein, and then you flip them over and you look at it and you're like, that's not high protein at all. Plus they can be really expensive and pricey. They can lack essential vitamins and minerals that our body needs. So I really think instead of relying on these products, try to get most of your protein from natural whole foods like lean meats, fish, eggs. You could do plant-based proteins like the beans, the lentils, the tofu. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I can list off, but whole foods really are nutrient dense, meaning that they'll not only fuel your body, but they're going to help you stay, satisfied longer, which I think can help prevent overeating, which is what I'm looking for. And before you get mad at me and shut this video off, there's absolutely no reason you need to get this protein from shakes and supplements. If you plan your meals around including protein sources, you can easily get optimal amount of protein with regular food. But if getting enough protein is hard to fit into your preferred dietary habits, or you're just having one of those days where you're battling food aversions or trying to, eat and you're like, oh my God, the appetite suppression, say you're traveling, then yes, shakes and bars are a totally reasonable way to hit that goal. But I personally do not think we should be relying on 2 shakes and a bar a day to hit our protein goal. I do try to keep it a shake a day, sometimes shake every other day. I love Flav City protein powder. It is the best ingredients on the market. But I just need to remind myself that it's in that supplement category for a reason, and it's not supposed to be a complete meal every single day. Now, let's go ahead and talk about not eating enough calories, because I think this is a big one. Because when people start taking a GLP-1 or really any weight loss aid, they sometimes think they need to eat as little as possible to see results. But here's the truth. If you don't eat enough, your metabolism can slow down. You're gonna probably lose the muscle mass. You wanna be losing fat instead. And you can even find yourself feeling sluggish, irritable, and opposite, hungry all the time. And I think this is one of those scary topics for me, because I see so many people use that blanket statement of 1,200 calories a day, Or when I see people post what they eat and I'm like, wow, I don't even think that's 800 calories. How are you functioning? And, you know, somewhere along the way, most women, I really think we get this weight loss mindset of eating very little calories. And that just is going to wreak havoc on our systems. But I think the key here is just eating the calorie amount that supports our energy levels. When you're losing weight, I think it's still important to nourish our bodies properly. You need enough calories to fuel your workouts, keep your energy levels up, and just allow your body to function optimally. We want a steady, sustainable weight loss, not a quick crash that at times is going to be hard to maintain. And we know that eating a low-calorie diet can also contribute to some of these unpleasant side effects, like fatigue in my case. I was looking into this very thing last week, and I found that I was not eating enough of my calories in my calorie range. I was short like 250, 350 calories. And I also live a very active lifestyle. So when we are also on weight loss plateaus, I think that the first thing we think to do is to eat less. And even though that could be the case, in some instances, it also could be putting your body in a state of metabolic adaptation, which I'm not going to go into great detail. I say look it up, research it, but it's definitely something I want to avoid, especially since I've been on this weight loss journey now for almost 2 years, which is crazy. And then next up is skipping fiber, because I think fiber is often overlooked, but it is such a crucial thing for, you know, weight loss. And I think fiber also can help regulate blood sugar, keeps our digestive system working smoothly, and just helps you feel full for longer periods of time. I think without enough fiber, we might experience, you know, bloating, constipation, even feel hungry, you know, shortly after eating a meal. And we already know that these medications can cause constipation. So let's try not to make it worse by consuming next to no fiber-rich foods. Just make sure you're eating enough of, you know, a variety of fiber-rich foods like whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes. I learned about basil seeds. I'll link that below. These not only support healthy digestion, but they also help stabilize your blood sugar levels, reducing those like mid-afternoon cravings. I think fiber should be our best friend in our weight loss journey. And then another mistake I see is going too high up in a dose too quickly. Now, I'm sure we all want to see the results fast, but I don't think that's the best approach here. And increasing your dose does not necessarily mean more weight loss in some cases. If you jump into a higher dose than your body can handle, you might experience some of those unwanted side effects like the nausea, the dizziness, the fatigue, the digestive issues. I think it's really important to start with the recommended dosage, allow your body time to adjust before you increase the dose. But once again, work with your medical professional on that. But I know that when we are quick to increase our dose and we don't see that big weight loss, we also are now getting that hunger back, we're discouraged. And I think before going up in a dose, take a minute to re-examine your diet and your movement plan. You know, sleep and stress are critical as well. See if there are any lifestyle or behavioral changes you can make before increasing. And hey, you could be hitting all of those benchmarks and going up is going to be your best option. We are all different, but I do know a lot of bad side effects that we experience can be from the dose and going too high and also not eating enough. And we need to also remember, like, slow and steady wins the race. We need to be in this for the long-term success. So just be patient, follow your healthcare provider's advice for adjusting your dosage, and just don't go up too quickly. Your body is going to thank you in the long run. And so let's go into the fifth and final mistake. And I think that's ignoring your mental health and stress management. We don't talk a lot about that because weight loss really is not about what you eat or how much you exercise. It's also about how you feel mentally. And I think stress can be that major roadblock to, you know, weight loss. High cortisol levels, you know, when they're released, when you're stressed, can actually cause your body to store fat. I don't want that. I want to lose weight and I want to build muscle. Stress can lead to emotional eating, making it harder to stay on track with your goals. So it's essential just to take care of your mind as well as your body. You know, you can practice mindfulness, try yoga, deep breathing, exercises just sit back and relax, or go for a walk, get some fresh air. You know, managing your stress helps reduce cortisol levels and just supports a healthier relationship with food. This way, I really think that we are setting ourselves up for success both physically and mentally. And as I've mentioned in a prior video, I was slowly putting some weight back on, December, January, and February of this year, the past year. And I felt like I was eating well enough, and I was exercising like I've been, all along. But it wasn't until I took a step back did I realize that I was stressed. I, talked about feeling overwhelmed, trying to have that perfect diet, confused by what I should and shouldn't eat, and just a lot of external voices causing me to be overwhelmed. And once I went back to what I like to eat, still healthy, that weight and inflammation subsided so quickly, and that was so eye-opening for me. But there you have it. These are what I think are the top 5 most dangerous mistakes you can, you really want to avoid while taking Mounjaro, Zepbound, or compounded Tirzepatide for weight loss. And remember, weight loss, isn't a one-size-fits-all approach, and using a GLP-1 effectively requires balance and a lot of patience. Focus on those whole foods, manage your stress, be patient with your body. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. I mean, I'm coming up on 2 years. And if you want to see long-lasting results, you need to support your health in all areas, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And really just take the time to work on those behavioral and lifestyle changes needed to have that healthy future. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget, hit that like button, leave a comment below with your own weight loss mistakes if you want to share them, and what I should have included, or any questions you have for me. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy content like this, but thank you so much for making it this far in the video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.